To order this morning.
I'll be darned.
We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to go ahead and ask for approval of the agenda this morning.
Make a motion to approve today's agenda.
I will second
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
the last item. Are we going to do anything with that?
Yeah, we're going to table the resolution on the Frericks property. We just need the resolution updated. So County Attorney Meyer suggested we hold off till next week so the publication dates and the document can be redone. So we'll act on the resolution in reference to the Frericks property next week.
Okay.
All in favor of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Next I have is public comments. At this time, ask public to step forward, make your comments on anything not on today's agenda. Julie, come on up.
Sure I will.
Thank you.
Concerning the lost tax reallocation, what does the engineering study from the Hardin County engineer say about using more gravel?
I wouldn't use gravel. I'd use rock.
Do you have an engineering study?
No.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other public comments? Pauline, come on up.
My voice is not very good. These were all questions that were brought up to
Come on
me.
up here so we can hear you on the mic and have you on record.
These were all, these were all things that were brought up to me that people are wondering about the clock tower bell, why it doesn't ring. I live out of town, so I don't know about that. They're saying it doesn't ring anymore with the strikes, like when it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it doesn't ring.
Okay. I can
Check
ask
into
Jody about that.
I don't know anything about that, but they asked me if I would bring it up.
Okay.
We
Tell
could
them
just
we'll-
ask
we'll
the
check.
custodian,
Yep.
or the, you could ask Jody, he would know.
We'll find out.
Yep.
And the other thing that I wasn't sure about, and we were gone and I haven't had time to go back through, and I can't remember either, and we're gonna be gone again, on that dog food place. I can't remember, did you explain about the however you call it, that,
The TIF?
TAF? Or
TIF.
TIF?
Tiff?
The
It's
TIF.
called TIF, okay. And then, did you explain the percentages?
I gave them to you. I believe it was
I
an
know you
80,
gave them
70, 60,
Yeah.
50, up to a maximum of 300.
And I guess, I had some elderly people explain that, and they would like that explained by you guys,
Okay.
just for on the record. I gave them the copy and showed them, but I don't think, I tried to make them, give my version of them and to help them understand, but evidently I didn't get through to them, and maybe if you would explain that on the record, they would get it better from you.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I didn't explain it very good.
Did you have the paper with you?
I did,
It was right there on the page.
and these are elderly people,
Okay.
and maybe they would get it better if you explained it.
I think
I
maybe
don't
we
know,
could
maybe
ask.
I didn't
yeah.
explain
Yeah.
it good
We could
enough,
ask
I don't know.
Auditor Laura to explain the TIF process and the TIF financing process next week at our meeting, and we can record, it'll be recorded, and then it can be shared.
Yeah, because they watch your
Yep.
Okay.
meeting thing, and I don't know. Guess I didn't do a very good job of explaining
I'll be
it,
sure,
'cause
yep,
I could see when I explained it, they were kind of like,
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
when Auditor Laura meets with us this morning, we can request that she make a presentation in coming weeks on how the TIF process works.
okay,
Yep,
thank you.
thank you. Okay. Anything else? Okay, I'll go ahead and ask for approval of the minutes from the September 5th, 2018 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 5th, 2018 minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next I have is approval of claims for payments for September 12th, 2018.
Move to approve the claims for payment.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next I have is utility permits and secondary roads department report. I have one utility permit from Winnebago Cooperative Telecom.
I'll make a motion to approve the Iowa DOT permit application by Winnebago Cooperative Telecom Association for the purpose of burying fiber communications cable and equipment along Mallard Avenue from State Highway 65 to and across County Road C-73, located in Section 6 of Hardin Township.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next I have is the presented recorder's monthly report from Recorder Lori Cadner.
Move to approve the recorder's monthly report of August 2018.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Anything to add, Lori? All right, thank you. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next I have is a consultant contract with the Iowa DOT project NRT-042-sub87-9G-42. It's the Iowa River Trail, Steamboat Rock to Gifford Bridge, and culvert rehabilitation.
I'll make a motion to approve this consultant contract on the bridge as stated.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
This is a
Multiple
grant that
bridges.
we've already been accepted for, and the contract has to be with the county instead of the Trails Committee.
Okay. And it's Snyder and Associates.
Mhm.
So,
And
okay,
it does not cost county anything.
correct.
Right.
Okay, all in favor of approving the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Next item I have is receipt of animal feeding operation Leto Finisher Farm, Section 31 of Alden Township. This is a permit expanding the site from 2,490 head to 5,000 head.
I'll move to acknowledge receipt of the animal feeding operation permit Leto Finisher Site, Section 31 of Alden Township.
I'll second it.
Could you repeat,
Yep.
could you repeat the numbers on that?
Yeah, just wait 1 second till the motion, then I'll repeat it for you, Pauline. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
So setting
I
the,
seconded.
Okay, I have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Pauline, it was increasing, and I'll give you this copy, Pauline, 2,490, and it'll increase to 5,000. Julie?
I have a question since there's two other applications from Iowa Select. I believe they were dated September 5. Blown Finisher Farm, 220 Street Alden, and Fritz Finisher Farm, 300 Street in Radcliffe. Are they not going to be on the agenda to have a public hearing, or what's that about?
They are not matrix-based sites.
And so, that they're not matrix-based sites, but still they will affect people in this county, and your obligation is to represent people in the county. Will these people just find out when they start building it? Is that how this will go?
Iowa Select, I believe, notifies all the landowners within a mile, if I understand
No,
correctly.
if you can show proof of that, and the rest of us need to know that, because this affects the quality of life in
Okay.
Hardin County, there is no doubt about that. Thank
Okay.
you.
And I can tell you Iowa Select does not notify landowners.
Right.
I
So
just going
at this
by what
point, I
we were
have a
told.
motion for acknowledgement of the receipt. All in favor of acknowledging the receipt, say aye.
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 I expect you to acknowledge receipt of those as well, so people know about it.
Okay.
Otherwise, the general public has no idea that Iowa Select is expanding, and they've expanded in surrounding counties by 12 of these recently, so it needs to be out there. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
Do we need to set the time and date?
Sure.
Move to set the time and date for September 26, 2018 at 10:03 a.m.
Yeah, you need to speak up. I have to go up there maybe for sure.
Set the time and date for the public hearing at September 26, 2018 at 10:03 in the conference room.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion, a second. Any discussion? And then please submit comments for Jess Sheridan by 4 p.m. on September 24th to be utilized in preparation for the hearing.
You might want to speak up.
Comments need to be submitted to Jessica Sheridan by 4 p.m. on September 24th.
Are you saying, what are you saying?
You know,
Comments
no.
that we,
The concerns and the comments that Jessica receives, she has asked that those be brought to her by September 24th at 4 p.m.
Those are written comments.
Written comments. Yeah.
All of them have the opportunity to submit written comments, and that's for written comments.
okay, will those be read or?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we receive them, we usually don't receive many,
Okay.
so.
So I have the motion and the second. All in favor of the public hearing for 10:03 on September 26th here in the conference room, say aye.
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 Aye. Next item I have is other business. Lance, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Renee?
Nope.
Okay. I do not. At this point, we will go ahead and recess till 10:30, and we'll reconvene for boards and commissions report here in the conference room, to be followed by, we'll meet with Auditor Laura to review budget amendment items, and then at 11:30, we will convene to meet with legal counsel on a matter in litigation. So we are recessed.
Okay.
Reconvene.
Yeah, go do that today.
I just wanted to go through committee stuff. I'll start. Fire Association meeting, I didn't have anything to add. The EMS Council, we met last night, and there was some discussion on exploring the EMS levy and looking at a possible referendum. Wright County's passed at 70%. And so I told the EMS Council I would get a hold of Chief Deputy Jailer Jim Lester in Wright County to get their information from them and see how they were going to utilize the funds in Wright County and report back to them. The other thing that was discussed at length last night was some communications issues that Dave and Nick and the communications companies are working on. But there was some talk of taking steps backwards in technology and process, and so Sheriff McDaniel and I kind of attempted to cut that off before we got pulled in a direction that was not going to be productive for the public. Emergency Management Commission will be meeting next week, and according to the agenda, we'll be looking at possible recommendation of a new hire, correct? 911 board. Over the last couple months, we've had entities look at their equipment and infrastructure, and so we've made some purchases and approvals for purchases and upgrades of equipment in
What, and who is this again? I'm sorry.
911 Commission.
911.
To make some upgrades at the Iowa Falls Dispatch Center. So that way there'd be a continuity of operations and consistency between the software and hardware utilized between the Sheriff's Office communication system and Iowa Falls Police Department. We also spoke about some of the redundancy in storm warning devices and trying to get a backup plan that was more user-friendly for Iowa Falls so they could trigger sirens throughout the county in the event that they were not able to be triggered from the Sheriff's Office. So those are some projects in the works right now. Central Iowa Community Services, like I explained, the audit was great. They couldn't find, didn't have any correctional findings, nothing to be corrected. Heidi Burns, the auditor in Madison County, oversaw that and worked with the state auditor's office, and they had nothing but good things to say. And the one positive thing that came up was, I'm sure we're going to have other regions looking at what we're doing in our policies and procedures, especially when it comes to fiscal matters, and replicating that. The next item at Central Iowa Community Services was the request by the Cerro Gordo County Board of Supervisors to consider adding them to the mental health region. And I think that's probably the biggest thing I want to talk to you guys about today is that interest was met with a significant amount of resistance just because it spreads us geographically farther, and when you look at an audit that is near perfect and having a really cohesive group, it's going to be hard to justify why changing something or adding something. And as we all know, Cerro Gordo County has some significant demographic differences than Hardin County or a lot of counties in the region. And so I'm having a hard time finding anything positive that could come out of adding another county to the region. And it was mentioned to me by a Story County supervisor that it came up at Central Iowa Juvenile Detention, and just in some sidebar
that they were looking
conversations.
to join.
Yeah, they wanted to join.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't going to be probably the most productive thing for the region. The stability that our mental health region has right now is something that is very positive, and I firmly believe that if given the opportunity, we would have a line at our door waiting. And so the suggestion is we're going to look at their financials and look at what they can offer, but we're also going to provide some modeling for these counties that might approach us and say, hey, we can't take you right now, but we would be more than happy to show you what's working here and cookie cutter that in whether it's forming a new region, which the state allows, or taking our policies and our way of doing business back to their region and recreating it there. But right now the clients in our region are being served very well, and it's that philosophy of don't fix it if it's not broken.
Well, I think we've had multiple counties over the years that want to move into or be brought into our region. And
Right.
So.
We did bring in Greene County.
Well, I think it needs to be a case-by-case basis.
Right, yep. And just because you show up at the meeting and ask to go in
Right.
doesn't mean it's automatic. And, there are just socioeconomic, demographic, and geographical considerations that all need to be explored. And so our advisory committee is going to explore that, bring that back for a recommendation before the November deadline, which they would have to file with DHS. Central Iowa Recovery services are picking up. They are looking at Webster or Hamilton County is looking at utilizing parts of the old hospital there for additional services, both Central Iowa Recovery and then some other county services. So they're exploring RFPs and some construction details to utilize the old hospital. Hazmat, last week we discussed there's new curriculum that will begin to be delivered throughout the Hazmat region to law enforcement, fire, and EMS officials. And so they'll be reaching out to all the first responders throughout the Hazmat region to start scheduling classes. So that's all I have this morning.
Let's see, I haven't really had anything recently that's really notable.
You're on a committee for looking at not zoning, but
DCAP?
Yeah, no, the branding committee and the we were just talking about it
Yep.
with Taylor. And that committee has not
Oh,
met.
the
Ordinances.
nuisance and
The ordinances for the various
Task force,
towns. It
yep.
has to do with the creative
county
placemaking.
code enforcer.
Code
Yep.
enforcement. The last committee on that, committee meeting it's been a couple months ago probably. And we have gotten more towns involved, and they were in the process of kind of comparing all the various city ordinances. And I need to look at the county ordinances to compare to what Hubbard has, because Hubbard has updated theirs most recently. And, but kind of comparing those to see, who needs to make what changes to kind of update theirs. And we'd like to get them all the same. And then the city of Eldora has their code enforcer, and she is willing to donate a few hours. Nothing is set in stone as far as how many hours, but a few hours to possibly working through some other areas of the county, the other towns, to write citations for those kinds of things or act on, as code enforcer in those areas too. But there aren't any agreements to do that yet. It's still in the beginning stages. So we're actually just working on the codes themselves right now. And I will get a hold of our economic development directors as far as who wants to head that committee since Cindy has left. We do have a branding committee, and we are meeting actually tomorrow. So there's really nothing new there. We've put out an RFP, and we've had 2 responses regarding that, as far as coming up with a brand for not only Hardin County as a whole, but each of the individual towns. For any signage and promotions they do for various things in their communities. And Greenbelt Home Care, I have that next Monday, so there's really no update on that right now. So that's about it.
Mine will be pretty quick. Recycling, they're looking at a possible increase with rising costs of everything. I believe it's $31 per capita right now. They might be raising that another dollar. Might be. The commodities that they are selling are pretty stable in prices, but just rising costs of everything else to keep it operational. Landfill, they've been doing a lot of work out there. They did a study for a life history of how much room they think we have out there. They have that on file out there if somebody'd like to call. It's quite a few years, 75 to 80 years left of use. Detention center, we added the new counties. We just did the 2080 already in there. That's been a process over the entire year and a half over those. It's continuing, it's always continuing through detention. What makes most sense to join the detention center versus having them a member, just having them an affiliate coming in. It's a well-run organization. Hardin Risk, we all attended the seminar up there, so I can go beyond that. Region 6, we're looking at new branding, trying to change the name of Region 6. Maybe I'm the sore thumb, but when you change a name, I want people to know what you are, not just a neat name. So.
But even then, when you're, well, Region 6 is called more than just Region 6, but when it's referred to as Region 6,
To me, it's public services.
I don't know that people understand even what that is.
So why not just leave it simple at public services? Quad County Public Services, something like that. We're still looking at a name, but they're trying, one of their ideas was Compass. Well, that doesn't help anybody, I don't think. That's my feelings.
There's already some kind of a company or business I know of called Compass.
Because
Compass
we encompass
Yeah.
numerous things, but still, if you want people to know what Region 6 is, it's public services.
Yep.
So mine was pretty quick and easy.
Okay. All right, so Auditor Laura will be down in a few minutes, and we'll go ahead and carry on. So we'll
Those papers.
just recess real quick and reconvene in a couple minutes. All right, we'll reconvene. So we just want to make sure that we're all set for public hearing in 2 weeks. So, Jessica, do you have anything that you need to review? Okay, Lance?
We just had the one question on the IRVM carryover and the requested for the equipment. I think there was a lot of confusion on that one. I know you reached out to Megan on it, Renee.
Yeah, she just kind of referred me back to earlier on, so I still don't know.
I don't think
I don't know if she understood my question. Because I do know that we were in the understanding that the 124,695 that she's having her ending fund balance from last year is going to be put into this year's budget. But then there was another request on top of that, and I think the 124,695 is supposed to come off of that addition, or
Right.
what she's budgeting, or what she's planning to spend the money.
Yeah, she originally wanted the 165,659,
Mhm.
not knowing you can get the 124,695 from last year, and they got put together. So I don't believe that was the number. But when we talked to her, I believe the 124,695 is all she actually needed, or what we told her that day in the meeting.
So prior to that meeting, she came to my office and requested the 124,695 as carryover, and I wrote it down. And then she came back later the exact same day and told me she needed 165 because it was 165,659, and she listed the hydro, the spray truck, the spray unit, and seasonal employees. And I clarified with her at the time to make sure that I understood, is this in addition to 124, or is this including it? And she said at that time, in addition. She may have not communicated that to me correctly, I have no idea, but I can tell you at the time that I wrote this down and created it, it was conveyed to me that they were two separate things. Whether or not it is today, I have no idea. I can't
Okay.
tell you. I built both of them in there, and you can prove less.
Yeah, and
Right.
I went back and watched that meeting, I think it was August 8th,
Yep.
meeting.
But see, this was way before that, so.
Oh, it was?
Well, yeah, because I had to
Okay.
put the numbers together,
Okay.
and then you guys had that meeting, and then I wasn't in attendance. But I know you discussed it because I know Pauline came up and talked to me and said that you didn't approve the total amount that I had. And I said, well, no one's told me different and I can't change it. It's
Right.
built in there.
So if anything,
So-
I was thinking it would be the 124,695, and then we would add maybe the additional 40 or something. I don't know.
40,964.
I think that we all agree that the 124,695 is carryover, and I would
Right.
approve
Yeah.
that.
Right.
When it comes down to it, I would hammer down, what expenses do you have that are coming in, that are over and above what you have budgeted, plus the 124,695, and then authorize that amount, whether it be
Mhm.
10,000, 20,000, whatever, or authorize zero. I don't.
Plus, we, at that time, when we met with her, we did not know what if any of the grants were gonna be approved. Now, some of them have been approved, so I think we just need to figure out how much of this we can,
Her
Whittle
LRTF grant
down.
was budgeted for.
But not all of them, because I think there were
I think
6
there was
total,
6
and she
total
was awarded
applications,
4.
and she got 4 of them.
Okay. I just know
So-
that the LRTF one was budgeted both on the revenue and expenditure
Oh,
side.
it was, okay. You don't know how much
I-
off the top of your head,
I'm
really?
thinking it was like 40.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
about right, I think. So, but I think we need to have her narrow it down, whether that's prior to the budget hearing or at the budget hearing. We
Yeah.
have to do something.
And I requested that everybody that had amendment items be there and be ready to explain and justify their amendment items.
Other than that, I mean, the other ones I understood.
Yep.
I understood yours, I understood conservations. I talked to Wes at 15,000 additionals for this part we tabled today,
Yep.
the Ferric site, and then one was just transfer in and transfer out.
Right, it's a grant.
So that was pretty easy. Yours was for your part-time help coming in, and
Bernie's,
Which I have not hired.
right.
Right.
we're gonna still move forward. The plan is still to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you still
want-
plan
Okay.
on doing it, yeah.
Okay. And then,
And then Veterans Affair, we talked about that one.
yep. Okay.
That's all I had.
Okay. Michelle, anything? Dave? Lori? Kurt? Pauline?
So what's the amount then that, Megan's gonna get then, or that you're gonna approve, are you gonna approve 165 then?
We don't know, we need
We're
to
gonna
talk
have,
to her.
yeah, she's going to have to subtract the amount of, there's no reason to appropriate the money that she was awarded for the grants. So we need to back that total out of the total requested amount to get the new amount.
So that's already budgeted, so we don't need to
This
amend
grant
that in.
might be like for seeding or something like that, or it might
Well, the
not
grants
be.
were already awarded, so we know that the 4 grants were awarded and we need to sum the 4 grant award dollar amounts and subtract them from the requested amount.
Actually, what I would like from her is a list of the equipment she's planning to purchase yet with the dollar amount that's not currently in her budget. So we can have a list of that with the amount, so we can see where it's going, number one. And also, I just don't think that she's gonna need $290,000 more in this year's budget than what she's already budgeted. I'm just kind of wondering if she's forgetting that we're moving this 124.
Right, the transfer.
And not taking that off of the 165.
She needed one or the other, we just don't know which one.
Yeah,
She didn't need them both.
yeah. I just don't, in previous discussions with her, I just don't think she needs the 290. I think it's, like Rand said, one or the other of these. We just don't know which one. So she can provide a list of the equipment and the dollar amount that she's gonna be spending, then we'll have a better idea. So we haven't gotten anything in writing really. And usually departments will submit something in writing as far as what they're amending.
Okay, now when we talked about using that tree shredder that we have, cause now she's gonna need like 3 people to operate.
I think
And to
some
do
of this
that-
was for, I'm not sure. I don't remember if any of it was for part-time help. I don't remember.
Some of that should have already been budgeted into her
Yeah, it's already-
original budget. This is above and beyond what we budgeted
Yeah.
for.
This is, I mean, because this
But-
current year's budget she's operating under has already been approved and we're operating under that. This is how much she says she needs above what she budgeted for this year.
But a tractor that was supposed to have been purchased last year never got delivered. So now it's purchased this year. That's the 125,000 carryover. Part of that money needs to come from last year's into this year's. We need to move it over because we assumed at the budget time it would have been paid for last year. So she had a $125,000 carryover where she probably should have had 0. She needs that money to pay the bills this year because they came in past July 1st. Just,
So, shouldn't you get that money to pay for that thing that was ordered last year?
That's what they.
And then her regular.
she has money budgeted this year for new equipment as well.
She does. She gets the regular budget amount, and then they're gonna give her the money left over from last year to pay for the tractor that was ordered last year. They will.
Okay.
And Dave with the jail, we have what, 320,000 there?
What about the truck then? Does the truck come out of last year's or will?
Well,
come
that's
this year's?
part of what she's amending her budget for this time too, I think, is for one of the trucks.
Okay.
I can't answer a
I
lot
don't
of
know
those
what-
questions, Pauline.
Yeah, I don't know what equipment she actually budgeted for this year that she's planned on using those monies for, and then what this additional equipment she's getting with this amended, with this extra 290,000. We know the tractor, but what else is she getting that she didn't plan for in this budget that was approved last February?
I believe she had about 98,000, almost 100,000 budgeted for equipment for this year, into this year. What she's buying with that equipment, off the top of my head, I do not know.
So we just need to verify, because that's nearly $400,000. You know, she budgeted the 100 for some equipment, and here's another 290. You even take out the tractor,
70,000.
which is like 70 or 77, whatever it was. But she's wanting more, to buy more equipment. We just need to know what all it's going for.
So that was the clarity I needed.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just what we need to clarify.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you, Jessica, for getting this to us. I appreciate that. Okay.
That's all I know at this point.
Okay.
We're recessing again till,
No, we'll just adjourn.
okay.
So,
Move to adjourn?
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you.